Welcome to the next. Welcome to the last modules of our lecture, which is language and style. Thank you. We are still in Group A, which comprises the Faculty of Agriculture and Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. What is literature? Literature is a broad term that encompasses almost everything we read, everything we see, and everything we hear. The term literature is derived from the Latin littere, meaning writing, and the French belles lettres, meaning fine letters. Initially, literature referred merely to fictional and imaginative writing and was divided into three genres of categories. These categories or genres are poetry, prose, and drama. Literature is a form of each category that distinguishes it from the others. For instance, all the first three genres could share the same theme or subject matter, such as corruption, love, education, and so on. But each one looks different on the page. What this means is that a page of poetry is distinct from a page of play. It is the form of each category that distinguishes it from others. For instance, all the first three genres could share the same theme or subject matter, such as corruption, love, and education. But each one looks different on the page. What this means is that a page of poetry is distinct from a page of play or drama, since poetry does not indicate speaker, and nor does it provide stage direction in parentheses. The way the play text does, and prose is distinct from, because all the lines run to the edge of the page and do not stop arbitrarily the way that the lines in a poem, for instance, do. Nowadays, however, the term literature has been expanded to encompass even writing that are factual or truth-telling. There is now a post-genre or category of literature called life writing. This refers to non-fictional writing such as autobiography, biography, diary, journal, memoir, travelogue, letters, and essays. What is fiction? The term fiction denotes any literary narrative, whether in prose or in verse, which is invented instead of being an account of events that actually happen. Sometimes, fiction is used as a synonym for the novel. Note, however, that fiction is not the same as a lie or falsehood or untruth. It is because in fiction there is no attempt by the author to deceive the reader or audience, as is the case with the lie or falsehood. Fiction is simply a product of the imagination. Writing or producing a work of fiction is a creative enterprise whereby the author invents a story world or depicts a series of events that never happen, but not with the intention to deceive. Genres of literature. As we said, traditionally there are three genres of literature: the poetry, prose, and play or drama. Poetry. Poetry is often considered the oldest form of literature. It is because it has existed since before writing was invented. When our ancestors told oral stories in some sort of poetic form to make them easier to remember and recite. Today, poetry is usually written down, but is still sometimes performed. A text is said to be a poem when it has meter or rhymes, and when it focuses on the way the syllables, words, and phrases sound when put together. Poems are often made of fragments and phrases rather than complete grammatical correct sentences. Also, poetry is nearly always written in stanzas and lines, creating a unique look on the page. However, not all poems have a strict line arrangement or regular rhyme pattern. Such poems are called free form or free verse. Some features of poetry. 1. Rhyme. A rhyme is achieved when two or more words sound similar. For example, fly high, buy or see. 3. Agree or feast, insist, assist, and so on. In a poem, the rhyme is usually achieved when the last word of two or more lines have the same sound. For example, did you see the little fly up the wall so high? You can see here that fly rhymes with high. Rhyme is what gives poetry its musicality. The second feature of poetry is verse. A verse refers to the lines of a poem. Most of the times, a verse is not full or complete sentence. It is just a line of poetry. Consider this excerpt from Ni Osindre poems. Poetry is man, meaning to man. From this example, you can see that a verse could even be just one word. The third feature of poetry is stanza. This word is derived from the Italian for stopping place. A stanza is a grouping of the verse line in a poem. Stanzas are often separated by a space in the printed text. The stanza is the equivalent of the paragraph in prose, right? In other words, a passage or story or essay is made up of paragraphs, while a poem is made up of stanzas. A paragraph is made up of sentences, while a stanza is made up of lines or verse. The excerpt given above from Osindere poem is stanza. The second genre of literature is called prose. A prose can be derived as any kind of writing text that isn't poetry. The most typical varieties of prose are novels and short stories, while other types include letters, diaries, journals, and non-fiction. Prose is written in complete sentences and organized in paragraphs. Instead of focusing on sound, which is what poetry does, prose tends to focus on plot and characters. Some features of prose. 1. Plot. Plot means the arrangement of events of a story. The most common type of plot is the linear plot, which has its structure, beginning, middle, and end, or departure, adventure, and return. However, not all plots are linear or chronological. The story above has a linear plot since the events of the story are narrated sequentially. The second feature of prose is characters or characterization. Characters are the people, animal, or things whose actions drive the plot or story. This means that characters can be human or non-human, such as animals, trees, or events. Characters can be either round or flat, or they could be major or minor. Major characters are characters that play significant or important role in a story. Without them, there would be no story. Minor characters are not as important as major characters, and therefore, even without them, the story could still remain. Most major characters are round. Round characters show change, development, or growth. Flat characters, on the other hand, are static. The third feature of prose is setting. This refers to the place or places where the story takes place. Setting can be a room, a house, country, the forest, or even another planet. Setting can be actual places that we know, or there could be places that are imagined by the author or the writer of the story. The third genre of literature is play or drama. Any text meant to be performed rather than read can be considered as drama. Dramas are usually called plays. The greater part of a drama is dialogue with periodic stage direction. Dramas are meant to be acted out in front of an audience. The writer of a drama is called playwright. Features of drama. 1. Dialogue. This refers to the talk or conversation between two or more actors or characters. 2. Monologue is used to refer to a situation where a character speaks alone to no one in particular or speaks to himself. Interior monologue Stage direction. This refers to the instruction given by the playwright on how the stage is to be arranged or how certain actions are to be done. It is usually written in italics. Types of drama. The major types of drama are: 1. Tragedy. A type of drama or play that has a sad ending. Comedy. A type of drama that has a happy ending and often makes the audience laugh. Tragicomedy. These types of drama contains features of both tragedy and tragicomedy. Non-fiction. Non-fiction is also called life writing because it generally refers to texts that tell the story of real lives. The most common types of non-fictions are autobiography. This is the story of a person's life told by himself or herself. Biography. This is the story of a person's life told by someone else. Diary or journal. This is a record of the day-to-day events or happening of a person's life which are recorded by that person as they happen. Travelogue. This is an account of a journey or travel recorded by the traveler, showcasing the strange people, places, things, and costumes that are encountered in the course of the journey. Other types of literature include oral literature such as folklore, fables, legends, myths, and folk tales, and graphic novels and comic books. In a nutshell, literature is divided into three major genres: poetry, prose, and drama or play. Prose can be further divided into fiction and non-fiction, and each of these has its own features and characteristics. The beauty of literature is that it is around us. Whenever we tell stories or recount our experiences, we are engaging in literature. It is in literature that human beings record and keep the best that has been known and taught in the world. Literature preserves our thoughts, experience, emotions, and knowledge. It is through the constant engagement with literature that we improve our vocabulary, gain general knowledge, and sharpen our mental faculties. We cannot get it by, it seems, without literature in our life. This comes to the end of our lecture on this module and the lecture of these fourth semester exams. Wishing you success in your examination. Thank you.